Ready? Start. On the cusp of election season, the High-Level Committee HLC on One Nation, One Election ONOE submitted its recommendations to the President. Though the primary import of these recommendations would not be realized until 2029, this exercise indicates how democracy itself can be fundamentally altered through a partisan process. Though the Supreme Court would have the final say on the constitutionality of simultaneous elections, a repeat electoral victory in 2024 for a Modi-led BJP would be understood as a resounding affirmation of ONOE. The HLC's report has made recommendations in favor of simultaneous elections starting in 2029. It suggests a two-phased strategy across all tiers of government. It also suggests amending Articles 83 and 172 of the Constitution to enable simultaneous elections to the state legislative assemblies and the House of the People without requiring state ratification. Further, it suggests that fresh elections for state legislative assemblies will be held for the remainder of the term in the event of a hung house, a no confidence motion, or an unexpired dissolution of the assembly. This means that any government constituted between election terms would necessarily be only for a term which is equal to the remainder of the time left before the next election date. There are constitutional barriers to these recommendations. For instance, the Constitution currently provides an equal 5-year tenure for every elected assembly and parliament. An amendment to this will impair the constitutional right that is endowed with each voter and the returned candidate. Last month, the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly had preemptively resolved to urge the union government to not implement the ONOE policy. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin termed the policy as a dangerous autocratic thought that needs to be opposed. The Tamil Nadu Assembly pointed out that the concept of simultaneous elections is not found in the Constitution of India and goes against the foundational principles of democracy. The concern that simultaneous elections at all tiers would go against the grain of federalism is serious. The Indian Constitution establishes a three-tier system of government at the union, state, and panchayat, that is, local bodies, levels to promote representative democracy through increased participation. Based on election data, voters in all three elections raise distinct demands and approach each with different agendas. What needs to be addressed at the national level through parliamentary law making is vastly different from what is addressed by the local municipal corporation. While matters of foreign policy, income tax, or national security would dominate the headlines during the general elections, issues around water, property tax, and roads would dominate the agenda during the local bodies' elections. There is a concern that combining elections at various levels might blur this distinction, leading to a centralized approach that could neglect total local issues and dilute lower tier democratic representation. Stop.